Hello, everyone, and welcome at this month's community update. We've got quite some cool things to share this month, and especially I wanted to highlight the hackathon, which is ending next week. Actually, next week on Friday. So if you are purchased for the hackathon, make sure to submit your project actually before that date or on that date. I think the hackathon closes at the end of today, and that is US time. You can
hmm
find all the information on the hackathon website as well.
Yeah, we've already seen some lovely submissions. Excited to see more. What creative solutions you come up with StepZen.
Yeah, it's great to see all the questions we get on Discord or in the hackathon page on DevPost as well. People wondering about what kind of projects they can submit and what else. You can actually quickly go to the hackathon website for people that haven't signed up yet. So let me share my screen. And go to share my screen here. So this is the website we have on devpost.com, which is a platform for people that want to participate on hackathons. And we've been running this hackathon since last month, so June 6th. And as you can see, we have 9 more days until the deadline. Don't know why I mistaken 9 for 6, but that's fine. And the deadline is July 16, 5 p.m., end of day in Pacific time, meaning that if you're in Asia or Europe, it will be early your days. So make sure to submit on July 15th, actually, to be sure that you're on time. And also, we have like 14,000 US dollars in prizes. If you're in Europe, it's actually quite a good thing as well, because I don't know if you ever looked at transaction or conversion rates for the for euro and dollars. So it's a good thing for European people. You get more money, but we also might get a recession. So it's good and bad things. So
Right.
14,000 US dollars. And as you can see, we have like almost 260 people participating. But it's never too late to participate because there are 6 weeks for the hackathon. But it doesn't mean you should take all 6 weeks to build your project. Maybe you can even build your project still in 24 hours, or maybe in half a day, or in a couple of half days. So you still have plenty of time. So maybe it's a good way to use those extra holidays you might have at the start of summer.
Right. I'd encourage everybody to take a look. StepZen's, I think, the easiest tool to start GraphQL APIs with. So you don't necessarily need to be spending uh, days and days creating your application. If you're pretty comfortable with front end stuff, it might just take you like as long as Roy's been talking about.
Yeah, definitely. And if you would go to the resources tab on this page as well, you can actually find getting started guides and introduction to StepZen in general. So if you're joining this live stream or watching this video later on, and you don't really know what StepZen is exactly, go to the resources tab here or go to a website and find out. You can also find all the different ways to create a GraphQL API with StepZen here. So it's either through a CLI um, or by using GraphQL Studio, which is a project StepZen also has, which is a curated list of GraphQLized REST APIs mostly. And most of all, join our Discord channel. I think we just shared the link in the comments
Mm-hmm.
as well. And even I think if you joined us for our last community update, we launched a product called rest2graphql.io, which can make it even simpler for you because maybe you're not a coder. That's one thing I really like of DevPost. They have all sorts of people on there. You have developers that like to build full stack applications. You have developers that like to build only front ends, only back ends, and you maybe have developers that work with no code or low code tools. So it's great to see all those developers coming together. And also for those developers, we have something to get them started.
Yeah, there's
And
a lot of different entry points into using StepZen. You can do it from the command line interface. You can do it from our studio, which allows you to just kind of click through different API schemas. Kamal, yes, we still have plenty of time, right? It's coming up next Friday, so in a week. The deadline, is that right, Roy?
Yeah, so you still have 9 days to go. And as I said, people typically don't spend the whole 6 weeks to work on a project. So you're not far behind. And I think even like the hackathons I used to participate in maybe like 10 years ago, they were like 24 hours or 36 or 48.
Yeah, a little more
People came up
stressful,
with
but
great things.
yeah, definitely still able to create great things during a shorter amount of time for sure. Last one I did, I think, was a 48-hour hackathon that NASA puts on every year with their APIs.
Nice. That's really cool. And maybe you can even graphicalize some of those NASA APIs and use them with StepZen as well.
You definitely can.
Because I don't suppose NASA actually will have GraphQL APIs running, or maybe they have.
Most of the ones I saw were in REST, so. But with REST to GraphQL, you can take those and convert them within probably a few minutes.
Yeah, so Kamal or the people, if you still want to join, have a look at the NASA APIs as well. Maybe you can even ping us on Discord. Maybe the CEO can point you in the right direction.
Right. There's one in particular I can help you with. The documentation is all in a PDF. So I think it's the Mars
amazing.
photo one. Yeah.
Yeah, so we would love to see your submission also for you, Kamal. So make sure to join us on Discord and ask your question there.
Or if you're watching and you happen to have one right now, of course, we'll take it.
Yeah, so this takes me to so let's continue conversation on the hackathon on our Discord channel. We have the link is in the comments, so make sure to go there and ask all the questions you might still have. And after the deadline next week on Friday, we will need a couple of weeks to look at all the submitted projects, and then we will come up with the winner. So in about a month or so, you can find the exact date on the DevPost website. You can see when you will get your prize in case you are the lucky winner or one of the lucky winners. And then heading over to one of the new features we released last week is the My StepZen account page. And on this page, you can find, well, under the account tab, you can find your account details, like your StepZen API key or admin key, which you need in case you're logging into the CLI. And on this page, the endpoints page, you can find all the endpoints you have deployed at StepZen. So every time you run StepZen start, maybe people don't really, maybe not everyone knows, but if you use the CLI to start a StepZen project and you run the command StepZen start, we'll actually deploy an API for you. So we will take the GraphQL schema that you created or that we generated for you with the CLI and deploy it to the cloud. And on this page, you can find the usage statistics of these endpoints. As you can see, I have 63 deployed, which is quite a lot, but you see only 2 of them are really active. And on this page, you can not only find all the endpoints you connected, you can also find the total number of monthly queries you run. You can find the queries per endpoint. And these results are based on the last 30 days. And it's important to know that they could be delayed up to 1 day, depending on the time zone you're in.
Yeah, and also it takes a few queries to get analytics that mean something. So that's why they're missing on the bottom few on this page. And yeah, the statistics, what they mean, the median is the median. So like the middle amount of time that it would take if you lined them all up, right? And then the percentile is just the 95th percentile of the stats there. So you might see a little bit longer times if you work a lot with localhost, just so you know. But in deployment, these are lightning fast.
Yes, definitely. And as Lucia said, if you're using your localhost explorer a lot, these times might be a bit higher because we don't do any caching on localhost, which makes sense because maybe you're making changes to your schema. So I want to make sure that we're not caching those for you unless you use your production ready endpoint.
Exactly.
Which, if you're signed up to StepZen, is the the one that starts with your account name. And something else that's really cool, which we actually took from REST to GraphQL, which we launched last month, is the connect button. So if you press this button, a pop-up will open that will tell you how to connect to your endpoint, either with curl or Python or JavaScript. We click this. It will show me a curl command, a JavaScript command, and also a Python command. And you can see it will show you the headers you need to append, the authorization, your API key. Luckily, you cannot see my full API key. And I'm actually starting to doubt if I press the JavaScript or Python tab, if it will show my API key. So
Yeah. But if you copy and paste that into curl, it's like a great way to quickly test your endpoint in production outside of, say, opening up a localhost.
yeah, definitely. And also, if you're maybe a bit newer to JavaScript or Python, then this page will also help you figuring out how to connect to our APIs in those languages. So if you would go to the JavaScript tab, you can see we're doing a fetch request somewhere at the bottom. So we're doing a fetch request, we append your API key, we take the query, and we just get the response for you. And we're doing the exact same thing for Python. And I think you actually made this Python example, right, Lucia?
I think I helped Sam a bit with it. But I was going to say these are actually maybe even more useful for experienced developers when you're sick of writing the boilerplate over and over again. I know I definitely use them in my projects.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully you like these improvements, and make sure to let us know on Discord if you have any questions about this page, but also if there are any stats missing that you would love to see, because we're expanding on this page to add more statistics, to add more functionalities. So let us know what you're missing or what might be improved. And also make sure to let us know if you like them as well, because we also like to hear some positive feedback in case we make the people really happy with some of these new functionalities. And then I wanted to head over to the final announcement for this community update. And also encourage you, if you have any questions, let us know either in the comments here or on Discord, and we'll be happy to help you also about the hackathon, because as we said, you have 9 days left. And then I wanted to head over to the final point of today, which is actually a happy announcement, because we at StepZen joined the GraphQL Foundation. And if you're not sure what the GraphQL Foundation is, so GraphQL was founded by Facebook, or actually some engineers at Facebook who needed a new way to interact with their APIs. And this technology has been inside Facebook for a long time, but in 2019, Lee Byron, one of the founders of GraphQL, to say it like that, he also founded the GraphQL Foundation, which is the foundation set up to secure the future of GraphQL. Because as you might imagine, GraphQL got very popular and people started asking about what will happen if Facebook decides to take down the open source template, or what happens if they decide to change the future of GraphQL. So with the GraphQL Foundation, the future of GraphQL has been secured. And also there is a more democratic process of finding people to participate on new future requests, or participating on finding the best future strategies for GraphQL. And we at StepZen, of course, wanted to join this foundation because we're building awesome GraphQL projects, tools, and services. So we want to make sure that we also stimulate and encourage the whole ecosystem as a whole. So if you would head over to graphql.org, you can find all the information about the foundation. You can find the information about the history of the foundation. You can also see it's part of the Linux Foundation. So it's part of a whole open source ecosystem in which we try to make sure that GraphQL will be one of the, or maybe the best way to interact with APIs now and also in the future.
Yeah, we're joining other companies in the space, like I believe other foundation members also have vested interest in GraphQL, or companies like AWS and the Guild, Twitter, Shopify, companies like that have been really invested in GraphQL in their since early days. So, good company.
Yeah, so we're really happy to be part of this this awesome list of companies contributing and investing in the future of GraphQL. So that was it in terms of announcements we wanted to make today.
Yeah, there's also, I did want to mention a State of GraphQL survey that I believe certain members of the foundation have had some input on, but I'm going to encourage audience members to take it and give your feedback. The results will inform the public about how GraphQL is being used today. I think it's the very first state of GraphQL. I love taking these. Like, I like to take the state of JavaScript or the state of Jamstack CSS, whatever those types of surveys. It's kind of fun to think about it. You might hear about some new technologies. You might be able to mention StepZen if you've used StepZen in a unique way. So I wanted to put that out there.
Cool. Yeah, so the link is in the comments. And make sure to use the to mention StepZen in the survey in case you're missing us in some of the sections. Yeah, so I guess that was it. I see a question from Kamal. So yeah, you can use any project to create a GraphQL application. The only strict requirement is that you use StepZen as a GraphQL API. But with StepZen, you can also work with your existing GraphQL APIs. So feel free to have a look at what we're doing by going to stepzen.devpost.com or stepzen.com to find out more about StepZen, and use Discord in case you have any follow-up questions.
Right, and the way that you can use StepZen to use existing APIs is to import the API into your GraphQL layer. So you end up with one unified layer of GraphQL, and then StepZen is the one that's connecting all the different backends, like maybe a GraphQL backend, maybe a REST API, maybe a database. And that way, all of your data is accessible in one, basically like super graph. And I will just quickly, before we head off today, give you a link to the Getting Started wiki for importing GraphQL.
Great. Thank you, Lucia. And thank you, everyone that has been watching. We hope to see your hackathon submissions coming in before next Friday. And we also hope to see you in our Discord channel to follow up the discussion.
Yeah, be around, be haunting it, looking for ways to support you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.